because I've been to the club, I don't know what's going on, but when the DJs stop playing the whole song? Right? Like now they just play a snippet, like it's Name That Tune. But now I'm thinking maybe that's why the illiteracy rate is so high. These children have never heard the whole alphabet song. A, B, C, D, remix.
So now I have to tell you, you look wonderful, but that's because I just had a cataract operation. Has anybody had this thing yet? Oh my God. You know what? I thought it was going to be the most horrible thing. I was so frightened. I wish I had done it like a long time ago, but I only have one eye done, so my depth perception screws with my speaking. And you look like a very nice Asian audience. I don't even know what the heck I was going to tell you there. Oh yeah, well, I did tell you about going to the GYN. I don't have a uterus. Well, I have one, but it's on a shelf as a planter. But with the cataract operation, it was easy. There was no pain. The worst pain is the medication afterwards. I got like 26 little jars of medicine that I have to put in like 52 times a day, and I can't keep track of it, so I just drink them now.
Greetings, friends. Hello, everyone. This is Shelly Colman. You just heard Leighann Lord and Rhonda Hansome doing that wonderful thing that they do, that stand-up thing that they do. I have to be very careful about that because both of these women do a whole bunch of other things, whereas I have a trip to CVS coming up later. So that's it for me. This is episode 5 of the Funny Women of a Certain Age podcast. So let me bring these wonderful women in. Let's say hi to Rhonda Hansome. Hi, Rhonda Hansome.
Hello, Shelly. I am just delighted to be here with you two funny women. I'm happy to be on the podcast, Funny Women of a Certain Age.
Because we all are. Let's not kid ourselves. And hello, Leighann. How are you?
I'm great. Good to be back. Thank you so much.
Now, I will say, because this is strictly audio, this is 3 funny Black women of a certain age. So this is our first brown podcast, various shades from I don't know, almost one extreme to the other.
I love it. I love it. The diversity. It's just thrilling.
Exactly.
We are everywhere. We are our own United Colors of Benetton.
There you go.
Assemblage.
And all of us have been associated with various performance, groups. For instance, Funny Women of a Certain Age, as we all know, is the project that Carol Montgomery started, our fearless leader who is off doing Carol Montgomery stuff, and the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest, which is a fantastic festival of Black comedians and now singers and improv and stuff that happens here in New York City. So we've all been part of those things. And I think that proves what so many young white male comics are saying now, which is there's just no room for them anymore. You know? Black male.
Yeah, we've taken over entirely, especially since Leighann and I were both awarded for our longevity in comedy by the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest. And we have just eliminated any position and any spots and any jobs available for non-Black female comics.
I think we should take a moment and just, give them their due. Sorry, guys.
They're not doing anything, Shelly. I'm sorry. They have to go.
They had to know that at some point every job is a Black job.
Really.
Very true.
But Shelly, something, one thing that I would like to mention, that I was also part of Funny Colored Women, a group that Marian Alda founded, and I was just delighted to be part of at the Black Theater Festival when we performed to all 4 sold-out shows. They actually, every night they had to add chairs for us. So yes, the melanated ladies do their thing. Yes.
And
There,
clearly have
there,
just taken over comedy.
there really have been, and Rhonda, you can definitely speak to this as well. There have been various incarnations of this. There was Shades of Laughter, women doing comedy. There was Sisters in comedy. Like, we have consistently, over time, said we deserve and demand and create our spaces. And I'm not necessarily a creator. I've been happy to be a part of these groups when women say enough is enough.
It is. It has been for quite some
I
time.
never get enough. Unfortunately, I never, I never get enough.
Wait a minute.
There can always be more.
I want it all. I want it all.
Well, wait. Let's clarify just for a moment. Never get enough what?
Of anything. I want all of everything, Shelly. Whatever there is, I want it all.
All right. So all right, folks. Anyone who's not a Black woman or anyone who's not Rhonda Hansome, that's it. You're out. Forget it. You get nothing. You get.
Oh well,
Yes.
y'all had your shot.
So, one of the things that I like to do here, Rhonda, is I like to ask comics questions that they always get asked. Like, I'm sure you've been interviewed dozens, hundreds, thousands of times, and there's always the same questions, and it's say over and over and over again, and you have your answer. You might even be like doing a laundry list or a grocery list in your head while you're answering the question you've been asked millions of times. So
Sorting laundry.
Yes, exactly. So I want to give you the opportunity to answer a question you've already been asked in a completely ridiculous way. Please feel free to be as sarcastic as you want, or wrong answers only, whatever you want to say. So, Rhonda, you have been in your career so many different kinds of artists. You're a comedian, you're an actor, you're a puppeteer, you're a writer, you're a director, you're a political pundit, you're a lion tamer, you juggle flaming swords. Which of those is your favorite?
I don't have a favorite. It's like saying, which of your slow children are you most enamored? I can't. I can't.
I'm afraid you're going to have to pick one of them. You don't have to say which child by name.
Well, I was very fortunate because this month in North Carolina, I had the opportunity to do almost all of those things and experience them
Oh,
as an actress. I performed in I Got the Last Laugh, a two-person play by James Carter, in which I played Moms Mabley, and that was just an incredible experience. We had a packed house, and I loved getting an ovation as an actress because so few people asked me to act, and that was thrilling. And then
Once you start juggling flaming swords, people are not going to want to see you act anymore. They're just going to go bring on the swords. That's all people care about anymore.
And then I also directed Same Difference by Don Mays, Don Mays' play. I directed a reading of that, which was really fun and a great play that conflates the gay New York scene and the gang scene in New York in the 80s. And then I had my own play, CPR, A Love Tragedy, that was presented in a reading by the director of the Frank Silvera Writers Workshop. So yeah, and I was loving it all, and I refuse, to choose. I will say I have not done the puppeteering in quite some time, but I love it all. As long as I'm expressing myself and a paycheck comes around, what's to complain about?
Okay.
oh, you want to get paid?
Oh, absolutely, yes, I do.
I'm totally with you. Can I just say, Rhonda, what you're saying? There's another aspect to this. People identify you or any of us with how they meet you. So if they've met you as a stand-up, that's how they think of you initially. Or if they've met you as a director or they've met you as an actress, that's sort of how the little box, and no shade, that's the box that they put you in their head. And it's always good, as the young folks say, to pop out and show.
Mm-hmm.
Just remind folks, how broad the bandwidth is of our respective talents.
Yeah, and my butt is pretty broad too. But
You see,
That's
I'm
why
not
this is
touching
only-
that.
that's
I'm
why
not
this is
touching
audio.
that. Literally or figuratively, I am not touching that.
that's what he said, Leighann. That's what.
And that's why we decided to just do audio. 'Cause this way, it's theater of the mind. Everyone can imagine how broad it
How dare
actually
you?
is.
How dare you? Theater of the mind. You're getting people to think. Ah, imagination's a wonderful thing.
That's what I hear. So, okay, so now, Leighann, it's your turn.
Uh
Questions that you can answer as sarcastically as you like. Well, Leighann, clearly you're a very funny lady, and we know this because that's the name of your website. Leighann Lord, the very funny lady. So, Leighann, tell us, when did you first know you were funny?
Oh, wow. When did I first know I was funny? I guess when I was saying something that I thought was incredibly serious and was being laughed at to my face.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, now I'm making points here, and people are rolling. I'm like, oh, this might be something else.
How old were you when this happened? Was this in school or was this on the around the dinner table? What was this?
I'm sure I was in school. It was probably both because I say this all the time. I'm not the funniest person in my family. I'm the only one that wanted to be paid for it. But it was literally a round table of laughter when I had dinner with my folks, and
Mm.
they were incredibly funny, great storytellers, and you kind of had to catch up. Like
Yeah.
I remember being 3 going, I gotta go to school, so I learned something, so I could I could contribute to this.
Oh, we were just talking about school off mic, as they say in radio, and what's the word I'm looking for? Bitching about homework. I think that's what I was doing. Because when I did not do very well in high school. I'm a fairly smart person, but I hated school. And in ninth
Ah,
grade, one day I realized, wait a minute, if I don't do my homework and I don't pass tests, it's not going to matter because the sun is still going to rise. It's not my problem. That was the end of it
that
for
is
me.
that is very early to have that revelation.
Yeah, my
But
parents weren't happy.
but it's a shame. I feel, Shelly, that the educational system. I feel like 85 to 90% of systems and institutions teach only a certain way, so that
Yes.
people who have a different way of processing information and
Mhm.
understanding it and analyzing information, they just don't get the chance to shine the way people who can just hear something and regurgitate it for a test and
Mhm.
and score highly on standardized or pop quizzes. And those of us who process things differently, we are challenged by the grading system. I feel
Yes.
in most institutions.
That's an excellent point. And when you develop a time machine, I do hope you'll go back and explain that to my parents. But the reality was, when I was in ninth grade, I discovered Star Trek, and that was really all I cared about. So,
Oh.
you know,
Listen, Star
school
Trek is a
school.
lesson in and of itself. Please don't get me started. Um, but
Well,
but can I just say to that point that you guys are making? Someone asked me a few years ago if I thought I was smart. And if you had asked me that at any time prior, I would have, sort of blustered and went, absolutely. But what I realized is that the way that I was taught information was the way that I was able to receive it. I was okay at sitting at my desk and writing and listening and studying, and all of that fit how my brain worked at that time. If you said, okay, we're going to go out and it was going to be experiential, we're going to touch grass and dirt, I would have freaked out. That is not how I learn.
yeah.
And so I think we have been on the planet long enough as a species to figure out which way children learn best. Like if you've got a little piano player on your hands, okay, we're going to do music. You learn through music, you learn through touch, you learn through tactile experiences. There are certain schools that teach that. I want to say Montessori. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's Montessori.
but why we're not doing that on a much grander scale so that we're capturing, our best and our brightest in the way that they need to be encouraged and directed is a true waste. There was just a study, this literally came out recently, that our youngest learners, I think we're at Gen Alpha or baby Gen Zs, are very disconnected from education because we're still on the focus of college, college, college. And for the kids who are not choosing college, they're not being encouraged or directed in any way. These could be plumbers, these could be contractors, these could be, entrepreneurs. And
Yeah.
we're not being in the moment with them. And I think we lose long term when we don't do that.
Yeah.
And we're not developing people who know how to do things with their hands, who are handy at machinery, auto
Mm-hmm.
repair, refrigeration, electrical connecting. And the thing is, I think it's a conspiracy because we are. I feel like maybe not Montessori school or the Waldorf school, but many institutions are just dumbing us down to the point where we will be able to accept robots doing all of these things, all of the mechanical things, all of the rote things, all things where like factory type work, and anything where we used to have a real life person tinkering with their hands. And the thing about doing that kind of work is frequently you not only learn how to fix things, but you sometimes discover so much, that you are almost
Yes.
inventing some things, or
Mm-hmm.
you're discovering new things about mechanics or refrigeration or electricity. And I don't feel that that kind of curiosity and discovery is being encouraged in a lot of the public schools today.
Not at
I
all.
don't I
Not
don't
at
think
all.
that's a conspiracy actually, and I hope not because I just got rid of my tinfoil hat. But I wanted to ask you. We're all New Yorkers by birth, right? Rhonda, you said you're from Brooklyn. Leighann, you're from
Red
Queens,
Sky
right?
Girl, yeah. And by the way,
Yep.
my my bonnet is tinfoil.
Oh, good.
My
Good to know. Always have one
See,
handy.
that's where you get me. I can't. You're not gonna catch me outside with a bonnet. I can't. If Gen Z is gonna come for me or young millennials, I don't care. That's not no.
You don't need a bonnet. That's fine. That's fine. But what I was thinking was we were talking about being smart, about intelligence, and I'm born and raised in Brooklyn also, and we're all approximately the same age. Did you have the experience when you were young that being smart was bad? Like somebody would say, "You're so smart," like it's an insult. Did you have that
Yes.
experience, or was it just people saying it to me?
No, I
uh,
definitely had that experience. I was made fun of for carrying a
Yeah,
book bag. But mind you, that was outside. But
right.
door to door, my house and my school. Oh no, 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 no.
Yes.
You gotta be, good, better, best.
Hmm.
How we not on the honor roll? And I'm like, I'm four. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, no, but there was definitely an anti-intellectualism thing in a part of the community, not the entire, but the
Hmm.
part. And if you were weak minded or you got straight, swayed by that, oof, where
Yeah.
where are we now?
I understand what you're saying. It was a duality for me because it depended where I was. It was dependent on the environment I was in, because in certain environments I was considered the smart one, and and unfortunately I always wanted to be considered the pretty one. That's how
Yeah.
smart I
Yeah.
was. And then in some environments, I it was communicated to me that I was less so, and frequently it was in school that it was communicated to me that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, or any
Yeah.
of the people who I would be around on the stoop, or playing double dutch with. So it was actually a situational kind of thing where sometimes I was seen as smart, and then other times not so. And that was very challenging for me because I went to predominantly white institutions starting in kindergarten. And to always be in kindergarten, I was the only
Hmm.
speck of pepper in the buttermilk. Uh, and going all the way through high school with some of the same people from kindergarten was a very interesting challenge and experience in how intelligence is perceived and rewarded. So
Wow. Yeah.
I
Can
don't
I
know where
just
I was going with that,
Oh, that's
but
fine.
can I
I'll just
well
edit that all out.
I would you mentioned double dutch. Rhonda, and that made me think that there are different types of knowledge and education and smarts. You know, you can be good with books, but there's also a cultural knowledge. And I learned how to jump double dutch very late in life. I was 12. You, I'm exactly. I might as well have been a leper. Like, girl, how do you not know how to jump double dutch? And I remember making the conscious decision that I would allow myself to be made fun of. I didn't care. Because there's always one or two girls on the playground that go, all right, come on, sis, we're going to teach you. And, you know, you jump in, you get hit by the rope, you flail around like you're having a stroke, you know, but eventually I learned, and I'm glad that I was able to sort of, I don't know, humble myself. I don't know why, you know, it had to be that dramatic. But yeah, I got that cultural knowledge late. You know, that and not knowing how to jump double dutch is the same as folks saying they don't know how to play spades.
I was just gonna say that any humiliation around not knowing how to play spades. I'll accept it. You know?
I don't know how to play spades either.
Y'all, are you serious?
I accept it and I don't care. You know, hey, if my life depends on it, then I'm dead.
I will say I performed recently for the Black Librarians Caucus. It was an amazing show. I mean, you cannot be with a smarter, savvier, but fun and sweet group of people. And after my show, I found myself in a hotel lobby playing spades until 2 a.m. And it was part also an instructional game because one of the guys had just learned how to play. And watching people come over and look at his hand and analyze his hand and tell him what he should be playing based on what we're all doing, it really reinforced to me that spades is not just a game. It's community. It's conversation. I didn't know any of these people.
And my issue was that I was not in that community because you learn it in the community. And if I had the opportunity to be in a situation where it was instructional, that's entirely different because then I can start absorbing the process and get fun and not be anxious around and have people looking at me like I was stupid, you know. But you know, I remember in high school, I wanted to be on the basketball team. I wanted to play basketball. I was never particularly athletic, but all those girls looked like they were having fun running up and down the gym. But you could not play basketball unless you already knew how to play basketball.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Here's the catch.
It's like double dutch. It's like, when do I get in? I'm timing the jump. And it's like, you missed it like by a decade.
I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Last summer, you know, New York City has like open streets during the summer. Sometimes they'll close a block or a couple of blocks, whatever, for people to go and be out in the middle of the street, which is fun for some reason. But it was in my neighborhood, and there was a double dutch team that came from a different part of Brooklyn, and they were teaching the little kids how to play double dutch. And I thought, I could do this. I'm just gonna, you know what? Let me just take a minute and get back into my rhythm, right? And I'm like, okay, no, it's all right. This is okay. They're like, do you want to start in the middle? I went, no, I'll jump in.
Brave woman.
Because I can jump. I don't look like it, but I can jump. I could not jump. I got in, the top rope went over my head. The other rope came around, whacked me in the leg. I stepped on the first rope and I went, oh man.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in 50 years. Why?
Yeah, right?
Shelly, blame it on the double-handed rope turners.
Oh man. Oh, that's a real insult to call somebody she double-handed. Like, I will still, it's rare now because you don't just see kids on the street, but like whenever there's like a street fair or anything like that, and I see girls playing, I'll walk over and they say, do you want to jump? And I said, yes, but I'll turn for my jump. Because that's proper. That is hood etiquette. And I remember one little girl standing there like, that's right, you're going to turn for your jump. Like, you're just not going to walk over and jump because you an ancestor.
Well, you know, that's what I ended up doing because I was so mortified.
Oh, Shelly.
Mortified. Well, because I think I'm generally a fairly modest person, but I just knew I could throw down.
but the feet don't move like they used to.
And there was a whole lot more on top of them. There was a lot
Right.
more moving when I was trying to jump and going, okay, no, that's wrong. That's throwing off. It's throwing off my balance. So I just went, you know what? Let me just take the
Let me
ropes
just
here.
turn. Let me
I'll
just turn.
I'll just turn for a while and show you that I do know what I'm doing, kind of. Fortunately, it was just a whole bunch of, like 5 and 6, and maybe the oldest was 12. People from
Still very
kids from the
intimidating.
neighborhood. Oh yeah, but they didn't know how to do it either.
There
But
you go.
the women who were part of this group, they said, we do teach this over at Grand Army Plaza. I'm going, oh man.
Oh, hang on. When was this? Grand Army Plaza, you say? And you know what? I'm just remembering this. I actually was double-handed back in the day when I first started. And I think the reason was because I only listened to AM radio when I was little. When I discovered FM, I'm like, oh, music with a beat. And that's how I was able to finally get it.
I listen to AM radio too. I don't remember any songs that went tick, 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 tick.
That's double-handed.
I know, but I don't remember any songs that started like that.
I'm just saying that is my origin story, and I am sticking to it.
All right. Oh, I wanted to mention, Rhonda, this may be news to you, that so far in every episode, we have had honorifics for each participant. Carol is your grace. Leighann is your majesty. Liz Glazer was your honor. Julia was the award-winning Julia Scotti. So we have to come up with an honorific for you. And by the way, I will tell you that I now have an honorific.
Oh, what is
given
that?
To me. Well, I just had a birthday. I turned 680, and a friend of mine sent me. This is the weirdest thing. There's some little island off the coast of England, which was bought by some guy, and it doesn't actually belong to any country. So he claimed it as a country, and it's called Sealand, Sealand, and he is selling titles in this country. So my friend bought me a title for my birthday.
Nice.
And I am now, and I have the paperwork to prove it, Baroness
Yes.
Shelly Colman.
I love it.
Thank you very much. So Rhonda, we're
Yes.
going to have to find an honorific for you.
Well, I am partial to Empress.
Empress.
See,
Very nice.
yeah, sure, but then that implies that all the rest of us are under you, and I don't think we need something.
Oh, I
that's
didn't-
one apart.
I didn't take that at all.
Oh, not at all. And there's still tiers above Empress too.
Like goddess.
Well,
Indeed.
that goes without saying, but yes.
All right. Well, I
but,
voted down Empress. It is Empress
thank you.
Rhonda Hansome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
And that's gonna have you have to change your LinkedIn now.
No problem. No problem. LinkedIn is my stepchild social media. I know Leighann is very, very active on LinkedIn, and I am going to try to take some inspiration from her and start being more active there. And on LinkedIn, I will use my, what is it? My
Empress.
honorific.
Your honorific, yes, your honorific.
Yes, I will use my honorific of Empress.
Oh, and now you have to change your website again.
No, not anytime soon. Took me 10 years to change that damn thing, Shelly.
What is your website?
And by the way, I just went. I had to look this up, Shelly. Yes, they are selling titles. And I'm gonna look at my budget because my birthday is coming up. Maybe I might have to add a title. Her ladyship would be. I don't know if I'd go for Baroness, but I like her ladyship. I'm
sure. I could totally see you as, but I just somehow Baroness really seems to work for me.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
It's
Baroness
perfect.
is someone who is rather solid.
Baroness Colman will be hosting our event this evening. Oh, absolutely, I love it.
The problem is it doesn't come with a staff or a mansion or anything. I gotta get all that myself, and I don't see that happening.
Oh, you mean workaday folk? You said staff. I was like, girl, you can get yourself a cane on Amazon. I totally had a different image of staff.
You and me too. And it was quite an elaborate and beautifully carved staff too.
It doesn't come with that either, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I could use a staff. I could use a
Yeah,
staff.
yeah, exactly. So, I mentioned your website, Rhonda. It's rhondahansome.com, or is it
Exactly,
rhondahansomecomedy.com?
RhondaHansome.com, and I just zhuzhed it up, and I said, we've got to come out of the '80s, my darling. We do have to come into this century.
And just for any young folk who are listening, I know that there's a tendency to compress history. Like we all fought in the Civil War, but there were no websites in the '80s. Everybody,
Right.
that is hyperbole.
That's why it needed to be zhuzhed up, Leighann. Because it looked like it was from the '80s.
Yes, the 1880s were a janky time for websites, everybody.
When there were no websites. But yeah, I'm very happy because I needed to do it, and it gave me a sense of renewal. Sometimes it's like when actors get new headshots, and it's a time to be feeling yourself and feeling good about what you've done, and I'm happy, and I want people to go by and leave their data for me. Yes, leave an email address, leave a comment, and
Social security number.
And explore and leave a PIN number. Yes, and explore the website and leave some comments. I would like that. Thank you for mentioning it.
Sure. What kind of stuff do you have on there? Do you have links to performances?
I do. I have links to performances and information about my bio. And I also have links to register for the solo show development workshop that I conduct on a regular basis, and that people can register for, and also the coaching services that I do. And I am looking forward to adding also the political cartoons that I do, Politunatics. There is a link to them, and I want people to come on there and leave information so I can let them know when Politunatics moves to another level. We're working on a game with these political cartoons, and let me see. There's also a link. There is a link to Politipod, the political podcast that I write and perform on. Just a few of the things
just a couple of things that she does.
Just a few things.
I understand you're going to be taking up high wire walking now, right? You're going to be.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the big problem for me is getting the shoes for walking the high wire. That's my challenge at the moment. I'm not concerned about the heights or balancing my broad behind on the wire. It's the shoes.
The shoes.
I would submit that since we have all chosen a career in entertainment, that we actually are tightrope walking.
All the time.
So let's talk about upcoming things, because I'm sure you both have a lot going on. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have to get to CVS. Leighann, what do you got going on? I mean, I know you're going to Dragon Con soon, and we can't not mention that.
Right. Dragon Con, and for those of you who are wondering, Dragon Con is, yes, indeed is like Comic-Con, and except there are dragons. Indeed, that is every year in Atlanta, Labor Day weekend, which is also my birthday weekend. My birthday, September 2nd. And this will be my 10th Dragon Con. Like, I can't believe it. This is like so crazy exciting for me, but it is exhausting. It's really tiring. But in terms of funny women of a certain age stuff, I'm not sure where this falls and where the show's coming out, but we will be in Luling. Well, it's near New Orleans. We're going to Louisiana. It'll be me.
Nice.
Yeah, right. It'll be me, Carol, and I'm trying to remember her name. This is so terrible.
That's right.
Another funny woman.
Yeah,
another funny one. Carolyn Ray. How could I forget that? Carolyn Ray,
cool.
myself, Carol Montgomery, will be in Louisiana on September 20th. I'll get to do 5 minutes, and then Caroline will do like 3 hours. It'll be great.
But those 3 minutes.
Listen.
No, wait,
I'm like an overconfident dude. I can make that happen.
Yes.
So does she do an hour and a half and then you do your
No,
thing
I'm
and it goes
kidding.
another hour and a
I'm
half?
kidding.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. But all to say that she will be headlining that
Nice.
event. I'm just happy to sit back and get a drink ticket.
Nice, nice. And Rhonda, I know you have 100 things coming up. Pick the top 3.
Well, I always love that people tune in for Handsome Monday on John Fugelsang's show. I'm with him every Monday night on Sirius XM channel 127 on Sirius XM Progress, and that's always fun for me. And I'm excited because as far as directing, we are still moving things forward with Dust of Egypt, a piece I directed in a workshop at the Sheen Center about Sojourner Truth, and it was so well received. I love that we had sold out shows, and we would like to move that forward. If there are any producers out there who really know how well this would work in not just colleges and libraries and schools, but in a wonderful, intimate house, the theatrical house. My lead actress won Best Actress in the New York Theater Festival, and I was nominated for Best Director, and the show was nominated for Best Production. So we are looking to move that forward, and I'm very excited about the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest that will be coming up in Women's History Month and Black History Month, dovetailing in there. And I'm hoping that I'll have a chance to do a reprise of my performance as Moms Mabley during that festival. And
Not 3. I said top 3. That's all
you
you get.
you caught me. You're good, Shelly. You are very good.
I can count to 3. That's right. I was bad in school, but I got the numbers down.
I do. I feel remiss if I don't throw in one more, and that's not just for me, but it's at UCB, because what put it on my mind was you mentioned Black Women in Comedy Festival. They're partnering with Laura Michelle and UCB, and we are doing a political town hall, a Black women's political town hall on October 5th. 4 p.m. and it's really an opportunity. There is a panel. I'm on the panel, but this election season has been exhausting. And when you see, your candidate, whether she is your candidate or not, but as a Black woman, you see another Black woman being attacked, being just dragged through the mud, that does something to you. And so what are we doing for our mental health? What are we doing comedically to get through the season? And that's what that town hall is about. So we've issued a save the date for October 5th, and I would love to see faces in the place.
And that's going to be where?
Talk about it. That's at UCB in New York City.
Okay, cool. So you can look that up, everybody. Once again, I will make a valid college try at linking things, but I'm old. What do I know from technology?
So, and I'm sure we'll have a couple more episodes, to talk about that.
Everything we bring up, we will bring up again, because got to fill time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm so glad to be part of your time filler.
Listen,
yes, the roadblock to CVS is what we are right now.
Well, once again,
Shelly is a woman who has receipts from CVS. She has receipts.
I do indeed. I use them instead of window blinds because they're really long. So thank you very much, Rhonda and Leighann. Thanks so much for taking time out of your days.
This has been so much fun, and I miss being around you two. I just, I love that. I'm so glad we had this time
together.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's going to be an editing challenge. Okay.
Yeah, and licensing, just a pain in the ass.
Exactly. All right. So once again, Rhonda Hansome, who is, you can see her. You know what? Just go to her website, rhondahansome.com, because there's no way in the world I can remember. I was going to say all, but any of the stuff she's doing. And go to Leighann Lord's website, which is Very Funny Lady. Is that right? VeryFunnyLady.com?
VeryFunnyLady.com. Also recently refreshed as well.
Wonderful. Well, now I feel like I should probably do something about my website, like maybe remove it from the web.
No, just
But
use a little Febreze. That's all.
That's it. That's it.
I think it's going to have to be a little more than that, perhaps one of them jet engines. Anyway, so again, thank you very much. And we will be back in about 2 weeks, I think, with another fantastic guest. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because, once again, I don't know. But thank you for checking us out. Thank you for listening. And check out all of the funny women that you know, and maybe some new ones that you don't know. Rhonda, Leighann, have a lovely afternoon. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of summer. And
My
everybody else,
pleasure.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.